Hi everybody, I'm Doug Mayer, founder of Run the Alps, and I'm really excited to welcome you here to our second annual Run the Alps Film Festival, sponsored by our friends at On. It's snowy here in Chamonix, France, and most of us have traded our trail running shoes for ski boots, but our minds are always coming back to trail running. So we're using this off-season period to share some great new trail running films with you. We picked 4 filmmakers from dozens of applicants and funded their films. And we had just one requirement, that the films be in some way, shape, or form connected to trail running here in the Alps. Our theme this year is exploring boundaries. In the next 80 minutes or so, you'll see a brief intro from the director of each film. We've also snuck in a few minutes here and there with some incredible footage from right here in the Alps and a wonderful film trailer from our friends at On that will transport all of us to a whole new location. I want to introduce 2 special guests who are going to be hosting our Run the Alps Film Festival. Our own Hilary Girardi, who last year reset the women's fastest known time up and down Mont Blanc, and our friend Martina Valmassoy, who's one of the world's fastest ultra runners and also has the women's record for ski vert in 24 hours, an incredible 17,645 meters, which is pretty crazy. So grab some popcorn, kick back, and enjoy our films. And of course, we hope to see you trail running here in the Alps sometime soon.
We're in the heart of the Berner Oberland here, nestled beneath the mighty peaks that we see behind us, the big towering limestone cliffs. The trails that we run here are ones which go from very easy, beginner-friendly trails, very smooth, non-technical, and others which can be big, long days out where you're on much more technical trails, and always interspersed with some comfortable places to stop and have a cup of coffee, a slice of cake, some strudel or things like that, which are really the highlights of the region. We ensure that the group is running together. It might be more of a challenge for one person than it is another, but that's really the beauty of traveling as a group, because we get to come along, support one another, and in lots of ways amplify the benefits of the trip that you get. I'm Alistair Bignell, and I've been trail guiding for Run the Alps for around 10 years. What I love about guiding is the opportunity to foster an environment where people can come along, feel looked after, feel supported, and then feel able to maybe push themselves somewhere and actually prove to themselves that they're able to achieve much more than it is that they think they can. This is the thing that kind of is my passion, which is the mountains, but it's also getting the most out of people as well.
Everybody, and welcome to Montroch in the Chamonix Valley, and you are joining us today for the second annual Run the Alps Trail Running Film Festival, presented by On, presented by myself and my friend here, Martina Valmassoy. So this summer we put out a call for proposals for films, and we received 20 submissions. From that, we had a small panel of people. So there was myself, David Kilgore, who is an athlete and the global head of athlete strategy at the brand On. We had Steve Scott, who is the director of the Kendall Mountain Film Festival, and Julie and Simon Freeman, who founded the magazine Like the Wind. And we all got together and looked through all of those submissions, chose just 4 of them. And here we have them. We're going to be watching them for the first time. I haven't seen them yet. I'm pretty psyched.
Yeah, me too. Glad we have this.
Popcorn?
Yes.
Let's watch.
Hello, I'm Bruno Keustermans, director and creative heart of Make Life Ultra, a short documentary film about Rick Joris and Dina Roman, a ultra running couple from Belgium, who are also the world record holders of triple and double Everesting. I wanted to make this film because I'm a trail runner myself, and I really love the sport and I love to share my passion for it with other people. I think it's a powerful sport that really can bring a lot to your life. On the other hand, I also love making films about untold heroes, about people who have a compelling story that is unknown to the wider public, because I believe these stories can be a true inspiration to other people even more than stories of big names, of famous people, because these untold heroes, they have a life that is a normal life that is really comparable to our lives, but still they manage to live it in an extraordinary way, and that's why I think they deserve more recognition, and I hope that my work can be like a little vehicle to give them the recognition they deserve. Lastly, the film is also dedicated to all the people who don't have the ability, the physical or financial ability to run trails, to travel, to go to the mountains, because I realize that living in Western Europe, we are really privileged to be able to run trails and go to the mountains, and that's why I want to dedicate this film to all the people who don't have this privilege but still manage to make life ultra every day.
Het voorbije 1,5 jaar alleen al hebben we 6 100-mijlers gelopen, waarvan 2 meer dan 250 kilometer. En je voelt nog steeds dat we daar nog altijd honger naar hebben om meer te lopen. Ja.
Ik ben iemand die wel voluit gaat en alles wat ze doet, en dat lopen heeft dat wel bevestigd. Dus ik wil altijd wel meer en meer.
Ik denk dat je soms ook pas begint te leven als je effectief uit je comfortzone gaat. Dan pas leert je toch dingen op een andere manier bekijken en maakt je toch wel een rijkere mens, denk ik. Ja. Ultralopen is ontdekken. Niet alleen ontdekken van mooie plaatsen in de wereld, maar ook het ontdekken van je eigen fysieke kunnen, je eigen mentale kunnen. Dus dat is eigenlijk hetgeen waar ik een beetje naar op zoek ben. Dus Dina en ik, wij reizen heel graag. Dus dat aspect komt terug in het trailrunnen. Maar anderzijds is het dan ook leuk om in zo'n mooi decor jezelf te ontdekken. Waar liggen mijn grenzen en hoe ga ik daarmee om? Ja, dat is toch altijd een beetje thuiskomen, hè? Dan zit er weer. Ik vind het toch wel een iconische plaats eigenlijk.
Ja.
En als je zo tijdens die recordpoging, is dat soms toch echt. Allee, dat lijkt toch soms een andere plek, hè?
Everest spreekt mij vooral aan, omdat het echt fysiek toch wel uw grenzen opzoeken is. Het is heel repetitief en heel saai. Aan de andere kant geeft dat mij ook wel rust. Als ik zoiets niet moet nadenken, gewoon lopen.
Bij mij was de drijfveer vooral, ik wou iets uniek doen, iets doen dat nog niet veel mensen ooit gedaan hadden. En toen zijn we gekomen op die website, de Hall of Fame of Everesting. En we zagen in die Hall of Fame dat er nog nooit iemand een dubbel Everesting gedaan had. En zo is dat ons idee ontstaan van, misschien moeten wij dan maar de eerste mensen zijn. Ik heb van die mevrouw nog een fles champagne gekregen na de finish. En zij doet ook elke dag tussen de 8 en de 10 herhalingen.
Hoeveel keer vandaag?
Dat valt nog te zien. Ik vind dat het fysieke eigenlijk op zich wel meeviel, omdat wij dat op ons gemak gedaan hebben. Maar het is vooral dat willen blijven doen. Dat was hetgeen dat echt wel voor mij alleszins toch heel moeilijk was. Zo dag op dag, uur op uur, minuut op minuut. Elke keer maar blijven naar beneden, naar boven en beneden gaan. Voor mij is de wedstrijd uitlopen het allerbelangrijkste wat er bestaat eigenlijk. Als je aan iets begint, dan maak je het ook af. Ik heb al veel meegemaakt, vlak voor een wedstrijd bijvoorbeeld ook. Dat ik een snee met een voet heb of mijn enkel verstuik vlak voor de wedstrijd. Of dat ik met buikgriep ben gestart. Elke excuus is goed om te zeggen, ik stop ermee. Als er dan iemand naast u staat die zegt van kom aan, we gaan ervoor en we geven niet op, dan is dat wel een hele meerwaarde. Ja.
Ik ga me niet alleen inschrijven voor een wedstrijd van 160 kilometer en de bergen, daar begin ik niet aan. Voor mij is dat lopen wel iets dat ik moet kunnen delen. Allee, ik heb echt zo wel het idee dat Rick en ik samen sterk zijn, dat we elkaar beter maken.
Het leuke aan ons is dat wij ook hetzelfde niveau hebben. Dus wij blijven ook tijdens de wedstrijd altijd samen. Dus als één iemand een probleem krijgt, kan altijd terugvallen op de ander natuurlijk. Tijdens een trail zeggen we vaak tegen elkaar van deze doen wij nooit meer. Maar dat duurt inderdaad nooit lang. Van het moment dat je die finishlijn over bent, zijn we al bij van spreken al bijna terug de volgende trail aan het plannen. Daarin is je brein wel heel vernuftig eigenlijk. Hè? Dus die houdt alleen maar eigenlijk de positieve zaken bij en al het slechte, al het afzien, dat wordt toch redelijk snel vergeten. Na zo'n 100 mijl kan ik wel bijvoorbeeld een week echt high zijn. Dan kunnen de mensen tegen mij zeggen wat ze willen. Die glimlach die gaat niet van mijn gezicht af. Ik denk dat je niet moet leven als een monnik om leuke ultra-ervaringen te beleven. Wij drinken ook nog altijd graag een pintje en wij ook nog eens graag een friet eten. Maar er moet wel een bepaalde passie zijn, want ultralopen doe je ook niet zomaar. Je moet er wel echt ook werk en tijd in steken. Sinds ik loop heb ik ook al veel mensen meegetrokken in mijn passie eigenlijk. Er heeft nog nooit niemand tegen mij gezegd dat het niet plezant was. Dat is voor mij nog eigenlijk het grootste geschenk eigenlijk, dat ik toch al veel mensen heb doen lopen, dat die ook nog steeds lopen, dat die daar ook echt van genieten. Dat is voor mij eigenlijk het grootste cadeau. Lopen heeft mij geleerd om vooral ook veel te relativeren. En het heeft me ook geleerd dat als je iets echt wilt, dat je dat ook wel kunt bereiken. Ondanks dat soms de taak of hetgeen dat voor u ligt zo ver weg lijkt. Als er maar een juiste mindset is of een juiste spirit aanwezig is, dan kan een mens heel veel. We leven hier maar één keer. Ik zie veel mensen rondom mij, bijvoorbeeld ziek worden. Die hebben nog zoveel onvervulde wensen dat ze nog willen doen in hun leven. En ik ben iemand dat wil vermijden. Ik wil eigenlijk vooral hier en nu leven. Niet slijpen, zoals ze zeggen.
Zoveel mogelijk meepakken en ten volle van elke dag genieten en elk moment.
Ik wil op mijn sterrenbed kunnen zeggen van ik heb er echt alles uitgehaald.
Ik zal heel blij zijn als ik zo mijn loopcarrière over 10 jaar of over 20 jaar afsluit. Dat ik in heel veel verschillende landen over heel de wereld trails ben kunnen gaan lopen. En het is echt de pracht van de natuur, waar ik ook wel heel veel plezier uit haal. Te beseffen van kijk, waar staan we hier nu weer? Ik denk dat we heel vaak tegen elkaar zeggen van... En het dan ook op dat moment proberen te laten binnenkomen. Terwijl we ook nog een beetje bezig zijn met wedstrijden en cut-off tijden. Maar ik denk dat we daar wel in slagen.
Bij ons gaat het niet zozeer over dan wie is de beste. Of het gaat vooral van, kun je de uitdaging en kun je er het werk van genieten. Ja, aangezien ik al mijn wedstrijden voorlopig al heb uitgelopen, heb ik nog niet het gevoel gehad dat ik echt mijn grens ben tegengekomen. Dus ik ga toch nog wel blijven zoeken, ja, naar een nieuwe uitdaging, een nog zwaardere uitdaging. Tot ik een keer moet zeggen van Rieke, nu is het genoeg geweest. Ja.
Well, I've done almost 2 Everesting on the skis and doing 3 Everesting in a row on a, like stairs like that. It's impressive. I mean, it's like,
you know, I was thinking about like, I mean, because so when you set the world record for 24 hours of vert, like watching, at least you got to like slide on the downhill.
Yeah.
But they had to run down those stairs for 82 hours, I think was his. But when he's at the end, when he was like, I don't think I found my limit yet, I was like, 4 Everest? Maybe that's it. Oh.
Well, yeah, that's impressive. I really admire people who's able to go like so beyond limits. More, I think physically somehow I can think about like going really far or like staying out for a really long time. But when it's such a like doing laps in
like looping on the same thing
on stairs,
that takes serious mental toughness.
For such a long time, it's tough. It's really mental.
Well, I feel like he was in what they were describing. There was a lot of what we would call type 2 fun.
Yeah. And still, like that was their challenge, but still, like their passion was based in the mountains and exploring the mountains. So I think it's a really good balance to have. And
for sure. And I love like the teamwork aspect of it, because like the idea that they were always together and they wanted to sort of push those limits together. There was one thing I disagreed with, though, at least in the advice I would give to somebody else, which was finishing at all costs.
All right, yeah.
Sometimes you gotta call it early.
Yeah. And you won't disappoint anyone. It's fine.
However, I admire their ability to push through no matter what, and it seems like it's been working pretty well for them so far.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, let's see if they're still together after the next challenge. No, I'm sorry. This wasn't. So next we're gonna hear a few words from David Kilgore, athlete, and I
believe he's the global head of athlete strategy at On.
All right, so
followed by a film presented by On.
Yo, what's up everyone? My name is David Kilgore, and I'm On's global head of athlete strategy and management for all of our outdoor athletes. On and myself are so incredibly excited to team up with Run the Alps for this year's Film Fest, and are so stoked to be able to highlight athlete stories, the insides and outs of their lives, what they're doing for the sport, what they're doing in the sport, and also to bring together incredible creators, athletes, and filmmakers to really show off your skills, what you got going on, and of course all the beautiful landscapes we all enjoy. So stay tuned, check out the festival, and can't wait to share these moments with you. I'll see you on the trails.
When you set out to run from Mexico to Canada, you know it will be hard. Timothy Olsen broke my record by 16 hours, so it's now at 51 days. My aim is to break the record again.
When Carl told me, hey, I want to go back and do it again, I was like, no, I'm not doing it. You just forgot how much pain you had.
The snowpack is going to impact the record attempt, because California has never seen so much snow since the beginning of measurements.
We decided to delay the project by 1 month. There's of course some risks involved in that, because now it's going to get hotter and we will be encountering forest fires.
I know what it is now to run 2 marathons a day, and when you're doing something extremely hard, the rewards are big as well. I'm not actively looking for suffering and especially not for pain, but I just know now, okay, it's temporary.
Oh, I know he'll suffer. I think he forgot, but he'll suffer again. You know, it's that he's looking for, and he wants to prove he can do better.
The next movie is coming from the Lake District, England.
That's right, we're going to be watching now Red Needle, which is a film by Don Bush and Simon Sylvester.
Bonjour, hello. My name's Simon Sylvester. I am a writer and editor.
And my name's Don Bush. I'm a documentary filmmaker, cinematographer, run a production company here in the UK, in the Lake District.
We've made a film called Red Needle about our friend Sarah Gerrish, who is an ultra runner who went through surgical menopause at the age of 33. I wanted to make this film because Sarah's our friend, she's my friend, and I didn't feel that this story was being told anywhere. I mean, there's increasing awareness of menopause, I think, in mainstream media, but almost nobody's talking about how it affects people at a younger age, early menopause or surgical menopause. And really just big story to explore. Yeah.
And I mean, I've never seen it talked about in the adventure film world.
No.
And it was interesting because obviously we're both men. There's things within it that we can't possibly understand. But personally, as a documentary filmmaker, that was one of the appeals to me. It's like, okay, so how can we make this ethically, in a sensitive way, and challenge our own understandings and, challenge our own understanding of a subject matter that is complex and really, I feel like, needs to be talked about more.
Yeah. And it was really important to us that Sarah kind of led the process. So at every single stage we were working with her, just checking in with her, making sure she was comfortable with the work that we were doing, and just letting her lead it. That was really important.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we've made something that isn't really like happy and joyous. That process has not been happy and joyous for Sarah. It's been really difficult, and we wanted to honour that and reflect it in the film, which is kind of eerie and doesn't necessarily have a happy ending, but I'm immensely proud of it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for giving us the opportunity to make it.
Thank you.
I was quiet as a child, tried to fit in. We moved a lot, but the landscape was there, the hills around me. I've never lived anywhere as long as I have here. Can we move away? Can we do something? Why is that? What am I wanting? Maybe moving draws a line under a hard time or a trauma. I don't know. I had pain in my stomach. Couldn't move, couldn't walk. We called it growing pains. Period things. Girls' problems. I woke up, drew up blood. It was hospital then. We don't know what we're going to find. They found a tumour. The size of a 6-month baby. They had to remove one of my ovaries. There's a chance you won't have kids. I was 15. I was a kid. I was missing 5 at Wembley for this. There was some fear of death, but I was mostly embarrassed. I didn't want to be the kid with cancer. I didn't want to be ill. I didn't want to be weak. I wanted to be strong. I started running after I had Molly. Running was about time for myself. Throw on my trainers, get out of the house. Sometimes a punishment for eating. Those demons lingered. All the wrong reasons for 5Ks and 10Ks and marathons. I started running off-road. These wild and wonderful places. The hills. These hills changed my reasons for running. I stopped running from demons. I ran to map the place I was in. To be in them. Enjoy them. Explore them. To feel them. To see what my body could do. My body. The pain came back. Doubled up, throwing up. Women's issues, Sarah. I lived with it. I lived 2 years with it. The nurse saw my medical notes. She was pure raging. She said, no. This isn't something you live with. The cyst had grown around my second ovary. Could feel the lump of it beneath my skin. Shadows on my spleen. Fast tracks, red flags. They opened the scar from my first operation. They couldn't save the ovary. I was in menopause before they'd even stitched me up. But I'll recover, right? I'll be strong. I'll take the tablets. Training again, running again. So simple. Can't concentrate, can't think. Dry skin, broken sleep. Mania and moods. Low self-esteem, losing my joy. Loneliness, isolation, brain fog, black holes, words. Words disappear from my head. Can't remember people's names. Did that really happen? Have I remembered that wrong? If that's wrong, then what else? A doctor told me I'd likely been perimenopausal since the age of 15. All my life. Would my life have been different if this had been picked up sooner? Who am I? Estradiol, norethisterone, medroxyprogesterone, micronized progesterone, dihydrogesterone, 100 milligrams, 200 milligrams, gels and pumps and patches. Who am I? I needed to belong somewhere. Running. It's the key to the lock. A door that opens me into dawn, sunrise, days, hills, friends, water, wind. Running is a space to be still, to exist in a moment. And there is knowledge, there is hope. The landscape is changing. Why do I run? Who do I run for? Maybe moving draws a line under a hard time. Or a trauma. I don't know.
I can feel this woman, and I think it's definitely a way more difficult life, especially as you have like a cancer at 15 years old is really, then it's a life-changing event. So
yeah, for sure. I feel like, I mean, you're right. Like, I would hope that this film can be seen by a lot more people, and that it can be then like inspire conversation, because as you said, a lot of these things we just don't talk about. It's just like topics that kind of live in the dark, literally going from like the experience of having periods, which like is 52% of the population or whatever. We don't talk about that. And then if it goes all the way to like really serious health problems, I mean, talking like when she said that how she had to advocate for herself and how she had to have a different nurse say, no, that's not normal. Like you could tell that, you know, she wasn't getting the support she needed. But I loved how she talked also about how her relationship to running and why she ran evolved.
Yes.
As she started doing trail running and what that brought to her. I thought that was super powerful.
Yeah, that's like not anymore a pain release, but just like a way to explore and discover. And it's, it gives peace, I think, to the body and the soul. So yeah, really inspiring for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed this though, but I didn't realize until the opening like part of the film that she was training for the Trail des Aiguilles Rouges, which is a race here in Chamonix, and Aiguille Rouge means red needle. So that is where the name from the film came from.
Okay, I didn't make the connection. But also I don't speak well French and well English.
It's what I'm here for. It's what I'm here for.
Thank you, Hilary.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. Anyway, super powerful film.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I know when I say mountain marathon, a lot of people think I'm talking about like a marathon race. And then I have to clarify, it's just 5K, but it's 5K, 3,000 feet of climbing. And like, it gets the hype of like a massive marathon. You got a start line and then the checkpoint at the top of the mountain. And you can take any line you want up and down the mountain. And of course, there's become these established main routes up and down, but people do take other lines, and then even amongst the established routes, you could be hammering up a single track and you'll hear someone in the bushes 10 meters to your right, and they're taking an alternative line. And so it's kind of interesting how people like kind of come back together, and they might even join back up and then take their line to the right, and other people are taking their line to the left. And it's kind of like a bunch of ants running up the mountain. Maybe you're like 6 minutes into the race. There's like 2 routes, and so the lead pack can actually like split, and you'll actually like go the other way from your competitor, and then you rejoin back here. So it's kind of interesting. You'll like the 2 routes come back together, and then you might realize you're like 10 meters back from a guy or ahead of him. Yeah, it's just crazy that this changes every year after like the snowfall and the spring melt off. Like this rock, some years is like people jump straight off it, but yeah, but it's like way different right now. Yeah, but I think also it wasn't so cut out in years past, so it was like, yeah, I won't be jumping off that. Not this year. Some of the guys that have come down here and practiced a bunch usually have really good advice on what's the best route. Or if we hang out here a little bit, you'll start to see people practicing the different lines. Usually I'll just like
do a few laps and try some different things. It's not gonna like win or lose the race, but at least for coming down, I want to know the best route just for being like safe. Oh yeah. Oh. I don't know, I end up just like, I just play it by ear because I don't have anything memorized. But this looks pretty treacherous, so maybe I should try to figure it out. Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Oh. Dude, I don't know. Maybe that's not the best option. Oh. Okay. So maybe I should, check the right route.
Yeah, so starting back with the history of the race, this has got to be, I think, the third oldest foot race in America. The race started as a bar bet, you know. It was to see if you could get around the rock on top and down in less than 1 hour, right? So the route was kind of beside the point. It was just how to get there and down as fast as possible. But then, maybe 90s, early 2000s, people started to really build a lot of interest in winning this race. And then so it kind of became a specialty sport in its own. I know right ahead of me, there was a group of men who had this critical mass, and they were training year round for mountain running. And I looked up to those guys, and I was inspired by them.
He's got a shot at breaking the record. 41:48 is Killian's number. Hello, Killian. You may have to come back to Anchorage. That is an incredible performance by David Norris, a rookie on this mountain who had only been up it a couple of times. And he just beat the best guy in the world by over 20 seconds.
Yeah, so David in 2016, that was the year after Killian broke the record, you know, the world's most famous mountain runner. It was a really big deal for Killian to come here. And people were excited about that, but it's a little bit of, okay, the record was broken, but he took it from an Alaskan, you know. We got to get that record back, and it was a stout record. And like, man, this might be a while. Who's gonna take it back for Alaska? And then the very next year, this guy comes and takes it back. People were really, really proud about that. Was that part of your motivation, David, to bring it back home?
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching Killian's race, and like, I think Eric Bjornsson and I were watching, and we were kind of like, do you think we could run that time? And we saw Jim Shine run with Killian and Ricky to the top, and we were kind of like, I don't know, Killian's the best of the best. And then, I don't know, that motivation to get on the mountain after seeing him do it, it was definitely added that excitement for us.
Let's go, buddy.
I saw like in the second half of the mountain, I was definitely extending my lead on Darren, and I figured with the buffer I was building that I probably wouldn't lose it on the downhill. Did it. Definitely the gnarliest of conditions I've ever seen. But even with like this kind of crappy weather, everybody still came out and the crowd was as good as ever. And I think, I mean, aside of me, like I knew I wasn't racing for a record, and I felt strong going up. So once I got down to Main Street and I knew nobody was going to catch me in the last like quarter mile, I think I really enjoyed this race. I got a lot of high fives and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, for me it was kind of special just to like, you know, be back home and really like enjoy the atmosphere here. Coming back here, it's like, yeah, being elsewhere is always sweet, but I do love the fact that when I come back to Alaska, I'm always just like, it is so sick here. And yeah, nothing really compares to running in Alaska.
I feel like I know everyone at this race, like whether I know them super well personally or not, like people all the way down the roster, you know, the back of the packers, middle of the pack people, and those in like the top 10 and stuff. You know, you see like your friend's dad out there and like someone you used to babysit or something like that. So I really love that. It's so fun to be able to cheer for people or just seeing people down here training.
Like this race got both of us interested in mountain running.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I think that's why, or at least like what's special behind it is like, that is like the rawest of mountain running races too.
Yeah.
You can get into mountain running and then you go elsewhere and you're still like, mountain marathon's the coolest race ever.
Yeah, yeah. And I think like Alaskans are really proud of it because it kind of put Alaska mountain running on the map.
A lot of it's just about socializing and coming a few days early, and it's not just Mount Marathon, there's a lot of cool events, and it's just a lifestyle. Mountain running is a lifestyle for a lot of people here. And yeah, just go up the mountain and tailgate afterwards, and it's just a special scene. So when you have 95 years of history and sort of a one-of-a-kind event. It's just a celebration of the town of Seward and Alaska in general, and just a really pure race, and which is so cool, having thousands of spectators.
Today. It says it's Steamboat Springs, but I really think it should say Fairbanks.
Yeah. True.
With a time of 44:51, David Norris.
All right, so this next film is called Elevation. It's by Carl Adam and James Mitchell, and it's going to kind of bring us back here into the Chamonix Valley.
Nice. Let's watch it.
As a filmmaker, I've always been drawn to stories of transformation and the power of the human spirit. When I heard about David Irvine through John McAvoy's Alpine Run project, I was captivated by this boy's journey. A tale of resilience, pursuits of dreams amidst a life marked by challenges and setbacks. I guess David's passion for running is contagious. Watching him glide through the trails with ease, I could see the freedom he found in the sport. It was clear that running was much more than just a hobby for David. I hope this film will serve as a reminder that anything is possible, especially if you set your mind to it. David's story is a testament of human spirit, and it reminds us that even in the face of adversity, we can achieve great things. I'm grateful for this opportunity to share David's story with you and with the world. It's an inspiration to me, to others, and I hope his journey will inspire others never to give up on their dreams.
I think others saw my future is just a normal statistic again. Just he grew up in care, was misguided, was going to end up in jail sort of thing. But they're the people that fueled me and made me want to make a change in my life. Until this day, they still fuel me. They are still in my head saying, you're not going to make it, you're not going to make it. But I am going to make it. And I'm going to fucking show them I'm going to make it. My name's David Irvine. I'm from Manchester, and I am a roofer in Hastings. I was 3 months old when I got put into care. My mum was quite sick growing up as a kid. I never met my dad. My dad was never around. I was in my first foster home. I think I was 3 years old. I didn't understand why I was in the system or why I didn't live with my mum and dad. Altogether, I've lived in about nine different foster homes and 2 secure units. Life was hard, mate. Life was really hard. I didn't get the support that I quite needed to guide me in life. I was getting in the wrong crowd, so I was nicking cars, getting chased by the old Bill. So I started doing this when I was about 12. I actually got caught. I got put in a secure unit I was 18, it destroyed me mentally. I just felt like I was getting nowhere in life. Eventually, I wanted to get a gym membership. When I walked into that gym, mate, without me realising, my life changed. I felt free from the unit that I was in, and it was extraordinary, mate. I used to up the treadmill, and I used to get quicker and quicker and quicker. I fucking loved it, mate. I got so obsessed that I just wanted to be running all the time. I got assigned a key worker. And one evening we sat down, he came to my room and he was like, look mate, I found you a running club in Hastings. And I said to him, mate, I'm not a runner, you know? I'm just doing it for me and just my mental health and my mental state, just to get me out of this place and just to make me a happy human being. And he was like, look mate, you need to join the club because I really think this could be you. Terry was the coach there. And I remember Terry saying, he said, it doesn't matter what you can do today, you're new, you know, just enjoy the experience and yeah, have fun with it. So all the slow runners go first, and he sets me off the back with this bloke. I've seen this guy warming up, mate, and he looks quick. But I'm feeling good, I'm feeling buzzing. I've put all my energy into this one rep. For someone who's never run before, he says, I've never, ever, ever in my coaching career, never met someone who can run like that before. He said, what do you want out of life? And I said, I'm not quite sure, but I found running and I really enjoy it, and I just want to kind of see, I just want to focus on that and see where it can take me. A few years down the line, I got tagged in an Instagram post where Johnny McAvoy was taking 12 young people to the French Alps in August to compete in one of the most famous trail races in the world, the UTMB.
Hello everybody. Last summer, I brought out 6 young people from across the UK to the French Alps. That trip to the mountains had a huge impact over the lives of all of the 6 young people who come out, and it sparked an idea and a dream. And that dream was to create the Alpine Run project. This summer, I'm going to bring out 10 young people in partnership with Youth Beyond Borders, and the 10 young people are going to compete in one of the most iconic trail running races in the whole world.
In the back of my mind, I was like, there's no way I'm going to get into this. There's hundreds of other kids that are going to apply to this, and like, why me? But I'm sat at the bottom of Mont Blanc. When I first saw the mountains and I came to France, it was like a big wind just hit my chest and it took my breath away. It was a surreal moment, and it just doesn't seem real. Mate, it's hard to put in words, mate, honestly. Yeah, it's special, mate. It makes me emotional as well. It does, mate, honestly. Can I just have a moment, mate? Is that all right? Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just emotional, mate.
That's good.
Yeah, man.
When I first met him through the running club, was a shadow of the man he is today. And what's happened to him in terms of his confidence growing has everything to do with the love that he's been shown. I wish you could see the David I saw 4 years ago compared to the David that's been talking to you today, because it's just an incredible, incredible transformation. And that has all come about through running.
I've grew massively as a person. I've come up my shell a lot more, and I think I've met so many inspiring people and so many like-minded people and people that want you to do well, not just in sport but in life. I think my experience being around UTMB is it's almost like one big family. You know, I think trail running is really special, and it brings people together. I think if you don't have a good community and good people around you, you're not likely to reach your potential. I didn't think I was going to be anything growing up, if I'm honest. I was just just a little wrong 'un who got misguided in life. You grow up in a system, turn 18, you get put out on the street in the big world, and you probably end up in going to jail. And that's what I really thought that was going to happen to me. But I really wanted to prove to people that you can make a change in life. You can come from nothing and make yourself something. And that's what I wanted to show, not just myself, but all the other young kids growing up in the care system, that if you believe in something and you find focus in life, you know you can achieve amazing things in life, mate.
52%, I think the stats are, of young people in care end up in the criminal justice system to one degree or another, and he can help turn that statistic around. Putting David next to some young people that are struggling in their teens, perhaps coming out of care or have been caught up in the criminal justice system or are in danger of going down that way, that is going to be just a life changer for them in the same way that this Alpine Run project has been for him.
I think what people get wrong about people in care is they're easily overlooked. They get misguided a lot, and they don't find a focus in life. They just get trapped in the system. And I think running can really give people in the system that focus and that drive. I want to inspire people that have been through similar struggles like myself. What makes me happy is to see the other young people doing well. They're all levels of ability, and they've all got their own unique story, which I think that's really special, and they're all making changes in their own lives, and they're all going to inspire people in their community and people they know to get into fitness, and not just in fitness, but they'll inspire people to do well just in life. The second goal is I do want to make it as a professional athlete, mate. That is the be and all for me, and I'm so determined and driven to make that happen.
Better run when you hear that. I said run when you hear that. Better run when you hear that. I said run when you hear that. Better run when you hear that. I said run when you hear that.
Growing up and having the background I have has definitely made me a better runner. I think when things get really, really tough and I've got to push to them limits, I can really dig deep and go to them dark places, because I've been to them dark places a lot, mate, so I know I'm most comfortable in them dark places, and that's where I shine. Every day is a day to better yourself and keep pushing, and every day is a step to get to that goal where you want to be. Nothing in life is impossible.
Yeah, they hate when you elevate. They stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly, yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got a soul view to myself, yeah. Why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation, now I got rollies all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Swatting all black like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with. I ain't make it this far.
Wow, what a driven young man.
Yeah, for sure. It's a different kind of stories from what we are used to see. When you have a difficult past like this guy, it's great to see that you can find a different light. You can still create your own path. It's not that you necessarily have to follow the ones that people think you're going to. So
what's defined for you.
Yeah.
I feel like what I really liked about it was the fact that, right, it's not only in that, like, how much trail running can do for you, but also I feel like you really see, like, mentorship.
Yeah.
Like, how strong it is to have maybe older, more established people in a sport you know, bring new people into it and pay attention to, you know, these young people who
and gives the right support and just like you sometimes you need someone to tell you like you can do it, because sometimes it's hard to believe you're capable of doing something, even though maybe it's not that big or it's not it's something that, I mean, running, he was used to run in a gym and he was like running hard, but still like the idea of running on trails or just running with other people, so compare himself with other people, it was scaring him. So it's nice to have people that is able to
help shepherd them into that new experience. Yeah, pretty cool. I think, you know, it's going to be cool to watch this young man's story continue and see where he goes next. But I love that he talked also about like wanting to help other people to get into running. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I think we should keep our eyes out.
Yes.
So now we're actually leaving the Alps for a little bit, and we are going to watch a film called A Step Forward by Mexican filmmaker Carlos Duran.
The story of Vanessa is a very important story to me because I think she represents all women in Mexico trying to do a sport. They have to deal with a lot of external issues, and one thing I learned from this is that running is not a lonely sport. It's actually a sport where all the people around you matters a lot. And I want to inspire people to achieve their own goals, knowing that it's gonna be always difficult, but there is a way. So I hope you like it, and I hope you get inspired enough to take one step forward today. Thank you.
Prochain départ pour Chamonix dans quelques minutes. Veuillez vous présenter au contrôle, s'il vous plaît. Next departure for Chamonix in a few minutes. Please go to the checkpoint.
Se me hace una experiencia muy gratificante, ¿no? De decir gracias que puedo participar, que puedo respirar, que puedo sentir. En la montaña a veces puedes tener un clima y a los 5 minutos otro clima, entonces también debes de estar preparada para eso, ¿no? La superficie a veces se vuelve casi imposible de tan siquiera de caminar. La mayor parte de las carreras de trail son cuestas muy grandes a vencer, entonces necesitas tener un físico así. Para el trail running necesitas no nada más correr, necesitas hacer ejercicios también de fuerza, necesitas tener piernas, el core súper fortalecido, las piernas fuertes, los glúteos fuertes, entonces necesitas una preparación más exigente, entonces tienes que meter entrenamiento de fuerza. Entonces físicamente eso es lo que más me gusta, ¿no? Yo empecé a una edad que decía a la gente, no, pues ya estás grande y no sé qué, para que puedas resaltar en un deporte tienes que empezar desde pequeña, y tú ya empezaste casada, con hijos, a una edad de 30 y tantos años. Entonces cuando yo les platico un poco esa historia de a qué edad empecé y a qué edad empecé a competir, o sea, unos años después, pues se inspiran, ¿no? Y dicen, bueno, si ella puede, ¿por qué yo no podría? Lo voy a intentar, lo voy a hacer. Después de mi segundo embarazo quedé con 16 kilos de sobrepeso, y cuando empecé a entrenar, que fue cuando mi hijo tenía 3 años, o sea, los 3 años después tenía 13 kilos arriba. Y pasó un fenómeno muy raro, yo me veía al espejo y la verdad no me veía con sobrepeso. Hasta que un día mi mamá me dijo, oye hija, yo soy tu mamá y con mucho respeto y mucho cariño te tengo que decir que te veo muy gordita, esa fue su palabra. Fue la verdad, como a veces decimos, es un shock, que yo tenía una imagen de mí, yo me sentía, no sé, hasta decir un cuerpazo, ¿no? Y decía, yo tengo un cuerpazo, y cuando iba al espejo, sí, al verme me vi, incluso me disgustaba lo que estaba viendo. Al principio fue difícil porque ellos lo veían mal. Mis hermanos, mis papás me decían, es que eso es egoísmo, tú no estás pensando en ti. Ya a estas alturas, Vanessa, a tus 35 años, vas a hacer deporte, o sea, ubícate, hija, ya pasó tu tiempo. Mis hermanos me decían que era una ridícula. Yo necesitaba el apoyo de alguien que me pudiera cuidar a mi hijo mientras yo estaba entrenando. Entonces, el ambiente que se propiciaba era, primero de mi mamá, decía, es que no es posible que tú por correr estés abandonando un bebé y no cuentes con mi apoyo si es para eso, ¿no? Y el papá de mi hijo, afortunadamente, sí me decía, si tú lo quieres hacer, yo me organizo y te ayudo. Con el paso del tiempo, me acuerdo muy bien que una vez que hice mi primer maratón, la verdad me fui con todas esas palabras de ellos, corriendo yo iba pensando, es que, y si soy muy ridícula, o sea, me está doliendo todo el cuerpo y ellos tenían razón, yo no me hubiera dedicado a esto, ¿para qué gasté tanto tiempo, meses de entrenamiento, si ahorita me está doliendo, si es cierto, ya estoy muy grande, ¿qué voy a ganar? Voy a llegar a la meta y no me van a dar ningún premio, soy de las casi últimas en llegar y todo, pero esta experiencia de llegar a la meta yo no me la esperaba. Estaban mis hermanos y mis papás en la meta esperándome, pero yo al verlos en la meta y el recibir sus felicidades y el abrazo y decir, hija, qué padre, ya lo hiciste, ahora entendemos, esto es una disciplina, esto es más allá que una distracción o un hobby, esto es una disciplina y qué padre, y en el segundo maratón te vamos a volver a venir a apoyar. Después mis hijos fueron creciendo y lo han entendido de manera padrísima. Me comentan experiencias de su niñez, sobre todo la mayor. Me dice, yo me acuerdo cuando yo era chiquita, mamá, que no hacías ejercicio, que siempre estabas enojada, estabas gritando, estabas triste. Sí estabas aquí en la casa, pero no nos ponías como atención porque estabas nada más como deprimida, encerrada en tu cuarto. Entonces ese cambio también ellos lo notaron. Como se dio el divorcio en plena pandemia, pues se juntaron muchas emociones, ¿no? Entonces no podía salir a correr porque decían que era malo salir a correr, y aparte no tienes como la misma motivación de seguir entrenando, dices no tengo como la energía, la fuerza, no quiero saber nada casi del mundo en un principio, pero un día me decidí, recuerdo muy bien que dije, no me importa lo que diga la gente, porque en la calle me gritaban que estaba loca, que como era un imprudente, y entonces yo dije, no me importa, aunque me digan lo que me digan, tengo que salir a correr para fugar estas emociones, estos sentimientos que tengo, y la verdad me hacía sentir bien, podía pensar, mientras iba corriendo podía pensar cómo ir solucionando los eventos, ¿no? que se suscitaban frecuentemente, que eran difíciles, pesados, tanto en mi casa con mis hijos como con su papá y el proceso en sí, ¿no? Y del lado económico, pues todo se me vio muy color oscuro, muy difícil, porque fui limitada, ¿no? Fui limitada y yo no estaba adaptada para eso, no sabía que era no tener ni siquiera un teléfono donde te puedas salir a correr y después te puedas comunicar con tus hijos, cómo están, ya voy para allá.
Dime tu tiempo, Edgar.
2, 1, 2, 2, ok.
No importa que los rebasen, señor Liborio. Venga, 2:10, 2:10. 5:5, excelente. Venga, mantenemos. Bien, tú puedes. Mantenemos, es la última. Venga, Lu, métele. Le paré, se me aceleró el corazón. A ver tu pulsación.
Ya cuando un poquito pasó la pandemia y ya el proceso de divorcio estaba ya avanzadísimo, ya se empezaron a abrir algunas carreras en Ciudad de México, entonces yo me tenía que desplazar para allá y pues sin auto es muy complicado y sin dinero pues es más complicado. Yo decía, pues ¿qué pasa? Me voy a adaptar, voy a irme corriendo de aquí a la siguiente parada o el siguiente punto de reunión con el equipo. Y me voy y yo salía a correr a veces en las madrugadas, o sea, me tenía que ir muy tempranito. Primero doy esa imagen de decir no voy a proyectar debilidad ni nerviosismo. Cuando voy corriendo o entrenando, voy con esa seguridad, proyectando esa seguridad. Sin embargo, de verdad hay veces que sí tengo miedo, hay veces que digo, Dios mío, por favor que aquí no me vaya a salir un maleante, que no me vaya a subir un auto, porque yo ya he escuchado historias de que se han llevado a corredoras de aquí de esta ciudad, las han subido a sus coches y se las llevan. Ya he sabido de 3 casos, en el año pasado 1 y en la pandemia también fueron 2 casos. Entonces sí voy con ese miedo y lo que hago pues la verdad es eso, dar una imagen de que me siento segura, de que no tengo miedo. Otra cuestión también es que los asaltos. Yo he estado ya en 2 situaciones en la montaña, no me quitaron nada, pero sí estuve en el filo de 2 asaltos, quedé justo en medio. Pero el miedo y la desesperación y el darte cuenta de que dices, ¿qué hago? No sabes qué hacer. Dices, pues sí corro rápido, pero te frena, te paraliza. Si estoy entre un asalto y te dicen que vienen con armas, incluso ahí en el estacionamiento de la pista donde entrenamos, se han dado asaltos a los vehículos, han roto cristales, se han llevado las cosas que están adentro, han quitado autopartes de los coches, o sea, y no te sientes segura. También me ha pasado que corriendo pasa la gente y me han dado ya nalgadas, ya ha sido como pues, unas 10 veces, ¿no? A lo largo de unos 7 años he recibido como 7, 8 nalgadas. También una vez corriendo en un parque aquí cerca, un tipo me agarró de la cintura y me jaló hacia él. Yo afortunadamente atrás de mí, él no se dio cuenta, pero venían 3 personas más. Y entonces al ver que le grité y le empecé a decir cosas y la verdad sí también lo empujé y le pegué, ellos fueron corriendo hacia mí y este tipo dijo que yo lo provoqué, que porque iba vestida de esa manera, ¿no? Esa creo que ha sido la ocasión que más miedo y coraje me dio. Entonces yo creo que mi principal consejo sería inicien un equipo donde no corras sola en un inicio, en lo que el mismo deporte te va llevando y te va dando una seguridad para poderte enfrentar al mundo, porque así es el mundo.
Tienes que luchar contra eso y es pues una barrera, pero es muy padre ver la satisfacción de ver que vas venciendo esas barreras y todo es por un beneficio individual, pero también impactas a los demás, impactas a la sociedad. Entonces así empecé y por eso empecé. Me encanta, me fascina correr porque es una terapia para mí y también lo que me encanta que es poder compartirlo con más gente, muy enfocada a las mamás, porque muchas decían que era como un límite, que jamás correrían ni media hora ni 15 minutos. Entonces fue como un reto de decir sí pueden, o sea, una imagen de mí, un reflejo de mí era mi foto del antes y el después y decir yo pude, de verdad que tú puedes, vamos, nada más se necesita muchísima disciplina, constancia y el querer hacerlo.
Y mi meta principal es seguir compitiendo y seguir llegando en alguno de los primeros lugares de mi categoría. Y si no llega a pasar esto, creo que la meta principal, la número 1, es el mejorar cada día mi propia marca, de acuerdo a mi categoría. quiero ir a competir a otros lugares, a otros países. Estaría muy agradecida de poder mirar montañas tan altas que hay en otros lugares del mundo por lo que he visto insisto, en internet. Yo quiero conocer esas montañas, yo quiero ver la nieve, yo quiero ver correr, qué se siente correr en nieve. Aquí no he podido, o sea, muchas veces he dicho voy a tal montaña porque en tal temporada sí cae un poquito de nieve, ya con eso me conformo y no me ha tocado, ¿no? Entonces quiero sentir con mis 5 sentidos qué es hasta oler cómo huele la nieve, la montaña allá, ¿no? Mis sentimientos serían de energía, como llena de energía por el contacto con la naturaleza, por lo que se respira, la hierba, la tierra, pues los árboles. Me siento fuerte, de que mis pies vayan tocando esta tierra, estas piedras, ¿no? tan imponentes, y que yo pueda compartir este momento con la naturaleza y que me lo permita la vida, pues es majestuoso. Casi en todas las carreras de trail tienen esa ventaja competitiva con respecto a las carreras de ruta, porque ves las creaciones tan grandes que hay de la naturaleza. Entonces la vista también pues es un factor motivacional, te inspira, ¿no? Te inspira a decir, wow, todo esto fue creado, está hecho para que yo lo pueda compartir o lo podamos compartir los humanos con la naturaleza, convivir. Y entonces sí es un factor importante para disfrutar, para decir voy a dar todo, me siento motivado, me siento fuerte, me siento con energía. Se siente una energía, una vibra súper diferente, bonita, para bien. Quiero llegar a todos los lugares donde me puedan llevar los pies, desde la punta de la montaña más cercana hasta la más lejana. Quiero llegar a la cima y saber que corrí sobre cualquier camino que me pusieron enfrente, uno a uno, empezando con un paso, como hace 8 años.
Venga, Vane. ¡Bravo, go!
A lot of big topics on this one, like important ones.
Yeah,
and
I feel like there were a lot of layers in there.
Yeah, it's a big cake with lots of things to process while running. And no, I found it really interesting and an interesting story. I think a story that lots of women can relate with. Like, you can basically just choose
which of the storylines.
Yeah, really powerful, and I really hope this lady will have the opportunity to come in the Alps and to explore these big mountains that
I mean, I feel like I would love to meet her because, like, you see, like, she had all these obstacles just to get started, right? Like, everybody said she couldn't do it versus, like, I feel like people are like, yeah, go for it, Hillary, you can do this. So, like, already she had those obstacles, and then she found she loved it, and then she encountered a bunch more obstacles. So I feel like she must be somebody who's, like, seriously tough and also dedicated, like we saw in the video, to, like, sharing that with other people and getting more people out. So I think that's pretty awesome. It was a very neat thing to watch.
Yes.
And like you said, I hope she gets to make it here at some point.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Well,
popcorn's gone.
Guess that means the film festival is over.
Probably.
We've got a few folks to thank before we let you all go. First of all, thank you for joining us.
So we want to thank Kendall Mountain Festival.
We also want to thank Charlotte LeFluffy, who goes by Fluff
All right. Nice.
Special thanks also to David Kilgore and On for helping make these films happen.
So watch out for the next call for application for the coming festival. How does it work?
Anybody who's interested should be following Run the Alps on Instagram, signing up for the newsletter. That's where the latest news will come out for the next call for applications. It'll be a little later this year, and you can, if you've got a great idea, you can apply for a grant and be in our next Run the Alps Film Festival. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, and see you next time.
The TMB, or the Tour de Mont Blanc, travels through France, Italy and Switzerland. So you get to see this wonderful mountain culture that's very unique in each area as you travel around. Beyond that, there's just incredible views, not just of Mont Blanc, but of lots of other mountains, lakes that you see all along the way. At Run the Alps, we make sure that everyone gets around the course, the right speed for them, and to do that we've got options in most places to also take a train or take a lift if someone needs to take it easy for a section. It's just totally normal that groups are going to have varied levels of fitness within them, and we've got everything set up to cater for that. I love guiding because I get to be in the mountains all the time, and it's wonderful meeting groups of people who are so keen to come and explore this area as well, and I get to share that with them.